What up, big kids? Welcome to the BKBN.net Top 10 Best Movies of 2012. These are voted by you, the BKBN community. Remember, if you're not happy with the results, you should have voted, damn it. Come on. Anyway, here's the best movies of 2012. Number 10, Men in Black 3. The first movie that didn't have a song by Will Smith. But I have to say, Josh Brolin killed it as a young Agent K. I have to say it's probably one of the best Men in Black movies since the original.
Men in Black 3 is great, especially the guy that was playing younger K. It really felt like the original, which I really liked.
Number 10, Men in Black 3 for movies. That's probably a pretty accurate pick for me, too. That movie was pretty enjoyable. It was really weird, seeing that I really liked it.
Men in Black 3, I had very low expectations with this. I thought after Men in Black 2 they should have stopped. But when I went and saw it, I have to say it went above and beyond what I thought it was going to be.
Men in Black 3, what an amazing film. First of all, I just want to give it up to Will Smith because he's still around and he still has a career, and that's amazing. Good job, buddy. You're a Fresh Prince in my mind.
Men in Black 3 was tight. I really liked Men in Black 3. I had an awesome time watching it. Very fun movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it, man. What's wrong with you?
Number 9, The Expendables 2. Holy crap, this movie was awesome. It was even better than the first. If this movie came out 25 years ago, it would be the greatest movie of all time.
I liked it just on the sole fact Jean-Claude Van Damme was the villain, and he actually did a pretty good job, so kudos to him. Who knew he could act?
You look at Expendables 1 and you see this awesome movie with all this action characters. Well, they found a way to multiply that by 2. It's like this in the movie.
Expendables 2 is really, really cool. This film was just really, really cool in my opinion because it just, I don't know, it's just something about seeing all those action stars in the same film. I loved it, and Sylvester Stallone has still got the body, he's rock hard, and he's very, like Rocky, like he's like, I knock you out.
Expendables 2, I still need to see this movie. Haven't seen it yet. Just saw the Expendables 1 like 6 months ago, so I'm way behind. Still gotta see Expendables 2. Hear it's good.
Number 8, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. Frank Miller's classic graphic novel come to life in the first part, and holy crap, it's even better than the comic.
I hate the comic book because of certain aspects, but they changed all that and they really made an awesome animated feature. Like, probably one of the best I've ever seen.
Ooh, The Dark Knight Returns! This was an awesome comic book adaptation where the comic book wasn't as good as the movie, for once. Usually that's an other kind of switch there. But yeah, the movie was a lot better than the comic was, and I can't wait for part 2!
Awesome movie. Batman, they did good with him in this movie.
I loved The Dark Knight Returns. That was an awesome, I mean, you know, Warner Brothers delivers every time. Bruce Timm and, you know, producing all that stuff. So yeah, love The Dark Knight Returns. Awesome movie. Loved it.
Number 7, WreckIt Ralph. This movie blew away all the competition for all the animated films. It had heart, it had comedy, and it just makes you want to wreck it. It's just awesome.
Who doesn't like an animated movie about video games? Especially like our favorite video game characters? Come on.
WreckIt Ralph, best animated movie of the year by far by Disney. And it's so awesome with video game characters and all kinds of cool stuff. Sarah Silverman, John C. Reilly, amazing cast. I can't wait for this to come out on DVD.
WreckIt Ralph deserves to be on this countdown. It's one of the first and only video game movies that actually kind of pokes fun at video game movies.
WreckIt Ralph? Whenever I got lonely times with Charlita 1, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna wreck it! You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, am I the only one that does that? But yeah. Besides that, I love the movie WreckIt Ralph. Yeah.
Number 6, Ted. Definitely Seth MacFarlane's best thing he's ever done. Hilarious. Cute teddy bear come to life. It just made me laugh my ass off.
Who would have thought around the same time that Magic Mike movie that all the women wanted, we would be getting, us guys, a foul-mouthed talking teddy bear movie. And it was awesome.
This movie is the movie that I was laughing, rolling laughing. The opening scene had me laughing and just rolling in the floor. It's hilarious. Thunder Buddies.
This was Seth MacFarlane at his best, making a live action movie about Brian from, I mean a bear from that was kind of like Brian. It was still a really good movie though. It was really funny. I really enjoyed it.
Ted, Ted was hilarious. I love Ted. The only thing about Ted is that, I don't know, if you're kind of a loser kind of guy like me, it kind of calls you out. Calling out the guys out there. Calling out the guys that like to be big kids, you know what I mean?
Number 5, The Hobbit, the first part of a trilogy. This movie, even though it can start out slow, really was epic, and you love the characters. Peter Jackson wins again.
I didn't see The Hobbit. So if that was that good, kudos. Was there walking involved? I don't know.
This definitely held up. It was a little bit long for my taste, but it definitely deserves, you know, a top 10. I personally think it should have been higher, but, you know, there should have been more of this rather than, you know, walking.
The Hobbit was a lot like Century Productions in my mind. The Hobbits are short, the movie was boring, and really, only fat chicks like him.
Hobbit, oh, Hobbit, oh, Hobbit, oh, Hobbit, oh, Hobbit, oh, Hobbit, oh.
Number 4, Skyfall, definitely probably the best James Bond movie of all time, the highest grossing James Bond movie of all time. Daniel Craig has really proven he is a Bond that will live on for all ages.
I personally hated this movie because there was like not a lot of action. And for me, James Bond was action-based, but it did have a really in-depth, you know, character development story aspect to it, which was kind of unique for a James Bond movie.
I have not been really excited with the newer Bond movies, and this movie just didn't really excite me. And it still, even after I've watched it, it was an okay movie. It was a newer Bond movie, but I prefer the older Bonds.
I think the movie was a little bit better because you weren't really sure if the villain was straight or gay. I'm pretty sure he's bisexual though. That made it even scarier because there's nothing scarier than a bisexual guy coming right at you with everything he has.
Skyfall, didn't see it, pass.
Number 3, The Amazing Spider-Man, definitely the best Spider-Man movie yet. Andrew Garfield just killed it as Spider-Man. Great Peter Parker, great Spider-Man. This is definitely was amazing.
Best Spider-Man movie ever made. They got the character down right. I loved Aunt May. I loved Gwen Stacy. I loved Uncle Ben. I loved this Spider-Man. I hope the franchise is as successful as the other 3 movies.
Amazing Spider-Man at number 3. Probably my number 4. It was a pretty good movie. It was a great retelling. A slick, polished Spider-Man for a new generation, not the Tobey Maguire generation.
Oh, Spider-Man was so awesome. The Amazing Spider-Man made up for what Spider-Man 3 should have been. If Spider-Man 3 was even anywhere close to this movie, it would have been amazing.
I love The Amazing Spider-Man. It was so good. I love Andrew Garfield. He just did a better job to me than Tobey Maguire. I really enjoyed it.
The Amazing Spider-Man, yes. Earlier, I thought The Amazing Spider-Man was my second favorite comic book movie of the year, but it did get bumped down for me to number 3. So I'm glad that other people voted the same way, because once I got it on Blu-ray, I found myself not watching it as much as I wanted to. Stupid Avi Arad.
Number 2, The Dark Knight Rises. Even with Christian Bale's like, even with that, and Bane's like, you know, of course, you know. Even though it was hard to understand either of them at times, this was an epic finale to the Dark Knight trilogy. In Nolan, we trust.
This was my favorite movie of all time.
Dark Knight Rises for number 2. This is probably my tie with number 1 with the Avengers as well. And Dark Knight Rises, holy crap, best movie I've ever seen, one of them at least, and one of the best comic book based movies ever. Just top-notch stuff.
Dark Knight Rises, that has to be one of the best Batman movies ever. I enjoyed it. They did justice to the characters. I really had my doubts going in that they would do justice for Bane and, you know, ending Batman. And
Dark Knight Rises, what can I say? I mean, it wasn't quite as good as The Dark Knight, but it was still really good, and nobody will ever forget Bane's epic voice.
Dark Knight Rises, man, I don't know what happened, but putting the subtitles on, it just made me love the movie so much more. I really appreciate this movie so much more watching it at home with subtitles on. I really had a hard time understanding Bane. It affected the movie that much for me. It really did.
And number one, The Avengers! Not only the best comic movie... And number one, The Avengers! Not only the best comic book movie of all time, but the best movie ever!
Hands down, I would probably have to say the best team-up movie of all time. They really got the spirit of the Avengers. And no doubt, if it was your number one pick or your number 2 or 3, it would have to be one of your favorite movies of all time.
Ooh, The Avengers, best superhero movie ever made. So top-notch action, so much crazy special effects. Everyone had their moment in it. It was just a great effing movie. Loved it.
Oh my gosh. The best movie I've ever seen. I walked into the movie theater and I was blown away. I mean, that is the best movie I've seen in a long time.
The best superhero movie of all time. It's like you took everybody that you love from the comic books and you threw them together in a live action movie. Captain America and Hulk and Iron Man and Hawkeye and Black Widow and all. It was just so good and so sick. And Thor was there too, and I was like, oh, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
The Avengers!
That was the BKBN.net top 10 movies of 2012. If you didn't like that list, like I said, you should have voted. Jesus. Why are you complaining about us? You're the ones that picked it. Anyway, some honorable mentions. I really loved Looper this year. Great. Justin Gordon-Levitt, besides being Robin, really did a great job as younger Bruce Willis. 2012 was a great movie, year of movies, and I'm glad we survived the Mayan apocalypse. So anyway, for the next top 10 list, which will be video games, and we still got toy lines, check out, it'll be coming up. And for more Geek News, Reviews, podcasts, more, check out bkbn.net. I'm Sean Long, remember, celebrating him in a big way.
Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. I tell you to go down.
I just destroyed my Spider-Man ornament doing that. Look at that. I have Spider-Man hands and feet and everything all over the place. That sucks. Damn it. I stepped right on this ornament thing. That's what I get for leaving it on the floor.